Good afternoon, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Julian. Today, I'm going to be making a spicy 7-bean soup. I got this recipe from my cooking instructor in high school, and it feeds a whole lot of people. So you could make this for a large family gathering, and I'm not using 7-bean mix. I'm actually using a 13-bean mix because I couldn't find a 7-bean mix in the stores. But it's fine. Just remember that you have to soak your beans overnight before you start this recipe. For this recipe, we'll need a bag of bean mix soaked overnight. I've already soaked them. You also need olive oil, garlic, bell peppers, chili peppers, 2 of each, also 2 yellow onions, 2 or 3 carrots and celery stalks. We need red pepper flakes, 2 quarts of veggie broth, 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, about 1 pound each, so I got 2 cans. I'll probably only end up using 1.5. And tomato paste, salt, pepper, balsamic vinegar, dried thyme, parsley, ideally fresh, but I don't have fresh. I'll be using dried, oregano, bay leaves, thyme, and basil as well, but I don't have any basil. And finally, sugar. For the garlic and the hot peppers, I'm going to go ahead and process those in the food processor. I keep the seeds in on my hot peppers, at least when they're the milder ones, like jalapenos, habaneros, just because I like spice. You can go ahead and de-seed your peppers if you prefer them to be a little less spicy. And for the other vegetables, I'm just going to do a nice rough chop so that we have the nice chunks of veggies. You can get a nice bite with pepper, onion, celery. I like my onions to be chunky. That's a personal preference. You can also mince them if you like them to be a little smaller. You don't like a big chunk of onion in your mouth. So I'm going to go ahead and process these, and I'll be right back. For the carrots and celery, this is really easy. Cut off the ends. Set to the side, and then cut into like 1/2-inch slices, roughly. If the carrot rounds are a little wide, you can cut them in half. And the celery, just like this, it's gonna cook up really nice. It's gonna turn soft, and it won't be a shock when you bite into it once it's all done. For the onions, there's a trick to this. First, cut it in half, and then cut off the front part. Looks like this. Peel off the skin. And then you hold it like this. You cut down flat to the board, maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then you cut down, and you end up with these properly sized pieces. And it's not a hassle, it doesn't go everywhere. You can get it done really quick, and there's no tears. For the end bit, you can just go like that. Super easy. For the bell peppers, you want to find the rib and cut along it. So do that, 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 and now you have it sectioned off. You can kind of pull it back. Comes right off, no seeds. Do that again for the other ones. And now you can clear off the white stuff and any remaining attached seeds that were left inside of it. Slice it into sticks. And then cut into roughly inch to half-inch chunks. I'm going to put together the spices now so they're ready when I need them. First thing is going separately, so I'll put it in its own container. That's going to be the red pepper flakes, 2 teaspoons. And then that's 2 tablespoons of sugar. And oregano. And the dried thyme. And then a whole heaping pile of parsley. It's supposed to be 1 cup of fresh, so I'll just use a whole bunch. Black pepper. Salt. And 4 bay leaves. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 for good luck. I'll put the wet ingredients together. That's going to be 4 tablespoons of tomato paste and 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the balsamic. One, 2. 1 can of tomato paste is 28 ounces, or pound and 12 ounces. So I just need 4 more ounces of this. Perfect. A little peek behind the curtain. I'm the type to clean as I cook, and everything is prepped, ready to go. It's been about an hour. Alright, to start off, we've got the olive oil. Turn on the pan to a medium heat and add the onions, the peppers, the carrots, the celery. Alright. And the red pepper flakes. I'll mix that up. And cook for a few minutes. And they won't get fully cooked through because there's just so much stuff and it's not a very large pot. It is the largest pot I own. Ideally you would use like a stock pot. Maybe a little larger with a bigger bottom. You can hear it's cooking. So yeah, just give that a good spin. Now I'm making this now around 2:30 because this takes 2.5 hours of simmering and I want to eat it for dinner. Now everything else goes in. The garlic and chili peppers. Tomato paste and balsamic. Bring that. Chopped tomato. All of the spice. The beans. Get all of those. The peas got stuck in the bowl. That's fine. And finally, adding in the vegetable broth. As you can see, this is a lot of food. It is going to be simmering for quite a while. It will reduce a little bit, but not all that much. So this is probably going to feed me for like 2 weeks. Mix that all up. All right. Now we're going to bring this to a boil, and once that is reached, turn the heat down and simmer for about 2 to 2.5 hours. Alright, it's been about 2 hours. The soup's reduced by like a quarter. And it is pretty good. Everything looks to be cooked through. The flavors have melded really well together. I tried the broth a little bit and it's really good. So I'm going to turn this off, let it cool down just a bit, and then give it a try. The soup is really chunky. It's got all sorts of textures in it, which is really fun, in my opinion. Still piping hot. But the onions have just melded into this beautiful translucent. The tomato chunks are in there. All the beans mixed up nicely. The broth is really flavorful and trying to get a good bite here. It's not too spicy, actually. It's the, I mean, it's just perfect. There's this rich tomato. There's the vegetable base. It doesn't overwhelm too much, and it allows all the flavors of the individual components to really come through. Now, it did reduce a little bit, but it's still quite a lot of food. This type of soup is very freezer friendly. So that's what I'm going to end up doing with it. Probably freeze most of it. And enjoy it on a rainy day. Thank you for joining me today. And have a great day.